This is Dr. Colantonio with some helpful advice on how you can decrease your chances of getting cancer. At least 1/3 of all adult cancer cases are linked to lifestyle, which is within your control. Tip number 1, be smoke-free. Smoking is not only linked to lung cancer, but has also been linked to more than a dozen other cancers. Even if you're a non-smoker, don't assume smoke isn't affecting your life. There are about 3,000 cases of lung cancer each year which occur as a result of exposure to secondhand smoke. Tip number 2, get your weight down. Many people probably know that carrying too much weight around isn't good for your heart, but did you know that it's a major risk factor for cancer as well? Tip number 3, get more exercise. All forms of physical activity help to prevent many forms of cancer. Tip number 4, eat more plants. There are a number of different foods that may help to prevent cancer. For example, tomatoes contain lycopene, which can reduce the risk of cancer. Tip number 5, reduce alcohol consumption. When it comes to your health, alcohol wields a double-edged sword. There is plenty of evidence to suggest that light alcohol consumption, especially red wine, may be beneficial for your heart health. But on the other hand, any amount of alcohol consumption can raise your risk of cancer. Tip number 6, reduce stress. People always want to know if stress can raise cancer risk. There is no convincing evidence that by itself stress is an independent risk factor for cancer, but what it can do is lead people to engage in unhealthy behavior in an effort to cope with stress. If you are overeating, drinking, or smoking to self-medicate your stress away, those behaviors all raise your cancer risk. Find a healthy way of coping with stress, like exercise, meditation, and reading. Tip number 7, get your screening tests done. Many screening tests for cancers, like mammograms and PSA testing, don't actually prevent cancer. They just catch it in an early stage when it may be more treatable. But other tests, like pap tests and colonoscopies, can help detect precancerous changes that, if left untreated, can turn into cancer. Tip number 8, know your family history. Family history is where we can really create a personalized strategy for cutting cancer risk and catching it early. Tip number 9, aspirin. The daily use of low-dose aspirin may cut the risk of death due to certain cancers, but regular aspirin use can come with side effects, especially stomach bleeding and stomach irritation. You should talk to your doctor before you start taking aspirin. Tip number 10, protect yourself from the sun. Skin cancer is one of the most common kinds of cancer and one of the most preventable. Try these tips. Avoid midday sun, stay in the shade, cover exposed areas, use plenty of sunscreen, avoid tanning beds, and avoid sun lamps. Tip number 11, get immunized. Cancer prevention includes protection from certain viral infections. You should talk to your doctor about immunization against hepatitis B and HPV, which is human papillomavirus. Tip number 12, reduce your exposure to estrogens and other steroids. Tip number 13, nutrition and supplements. Drink more water and choose fats wisely. Omega-3 fats found in cold water fish, especially wild salmon and sardines, freshly ground flaxseed and walnuts, have been associated with inhibiting cancer cells. Eat lots of vegetables and fruit. Eat less meat. Eat more soy. Drink green tea. Take a multivitamin and add garlic to everything you eat. You should also concentrate on ingesting more beta carotene. The best sources of beta carotene are sweet potatoes, carrots, cantaloupe, pumpkins, butternut and other types of winter squash, spinach, broccoli, mango, and papaya. Eating pink grapefruit instead of white grapefruit gives you a beta carotene boost. And again, tomatoes contain lycopene, which enhances the absorption and utilization of beta carotene. Carrots and tomatoes are a great and powerful combination. Tip number 14, the power of antioxidants, which include blueberries, kiwis, grapes, scallions, and artichokes, are an excellent and powerful source of antioxidants. And finally, tip number 15, you should increase your fiber intake. If you have any questions about anything we just discussed, please call me on my toll-free number, 1-855-832-5757. Call now if you'd like. The call is free. The advice is free. Just call and ask for me. Ask for Dr. C. Thank you very much.